Hey everyone, Tom here, Jampot. Let's take a look at how we're doing. 3414. All right, who knows? Okay, there we go. 18th. All right, let's make that number better. Uh, I guess I already rewrote this earlier. I cannot remember what it was, but that's fine. I'm gonna play Sorceress Serena. I really like Sorceress Serena. I don't think she's great. I think my AVP around uh with her this season is I guess I don't have very many games with her. Um, but she was my most played character or captain last patch, and I think I had like a 3.0 AVP with her, which is, not what you want out of your most played character. I'll go into that a little bit actually as we're playing or looking at the deck list. So in this deck list, the first thing you might notice, no legendaries. That isn't to say that we're not going to buy any, because I hopefully we survive long enough to pick up a Shadowmancer and a Friar Tuck, stuff like that. But if you look at these, they either require a ton of resources, the ones that would kind of like make sense with what we're doing. So let's say like Minster, you don't really like have time to get this going because you have to enable all of these like mirror mages, genies of the lamps. Like these things are greedy. They want tons of resources, and also they're popping up just as like other builds are starting to spike a little bit more. So your animals are going to have like a steady board. They're going to have some good summons. Your toys, everything's clicking. Um, your face shop buffs have built up, etc., etc. And then you're here and you're buying a 6/6 or a 1/1. And yes, you can enable it really quickly, especially if you have some plus spell stuff going on, but you have to find it. So I don't really value having a lot more like high end when what we're trying to solve happens here. That's what Wicked Witch is doing here. It's just to kind of smooth it out because like it can be really abysmal um, when you're like power spike when your opponents are spiking just as you're investing. Um, Rudolph the Red I've actually quite liked specifically with this character because it matters so much what spells you're casting when you're doubling them. And also, you just have to hit targeted spells. Like, it doesn't function when you spend a couple turns and you just miss. So it might seem a little dorky, but I've been impressed. Um, the rest of these are kind of generic spell stuff. I don't think I have to explain too much. Sabrina, I'm not in love with either, actually. I think that that's the first on the chopping block, but I haven't found anything like of the couple things I've experimented with, I haven't found anything that I love. It's very possible that it should just be something that's innocuous, like a Fey Familiar, but like that kind of bridges that awkward gap. Because looking at this, I had a Calypso for that purpose, but we'll find out. We'll find out what this mid game looks like. All right, enough rambling. Let's just play. Okay, so Dragonling is always okay on turn one, right? Like you can build up a relic. Uh, Plunder Penny is a real thing that we might want to slay or to use to hunt, so taking up our turns one is not irrelevant. And I quite like the Fates after this buff, so I'm just going to go for that. So the problem here is that if we hit a targeted spell, I don't know that I actually want to cast it now when I don't have like a Rage Mage or anything. Um, oh, Presence of Gaia would be excellent. Let's just do it. Yeah, this is kind of what I was afraid of. But that's okay. Now we just have this gigantic threat that will, it'll just sit on our board for quite a while and be okay. Given that that's the case, I'm gonna take this Despicable Smee over the other, like, more guaranteed ones. Hmm. Still not taking Dragonling. It's gotten worse, in fact, because now it has to attack 3 times, and it's gotten a lot harder to do that. Thorn doesn't look great. Look at the attack on these. I don't love Rose, but I think it's gonna do. Uh, yeah. So we have a lot more villains that we're interested in, so that's what we're going for. Against this, so usually Chucky will not be prioritizing Pirate Monkey. Um, we'll have lots of weak things in the front, though, the summons. So I'm inclined to do something like this, actually. Oh, that was not good. Okay. Well, so it goes. Okay, so we have options here. Little Red is not one of them. The Fates is fine. Obviously, spell good. I find that a lot of the time it really is important to get your the things that care about having double spells, it really is a bummer to miss out on this pumpkin spice latte, but I think it has to be one of these two. It's just too likely that we just like immediately, our board is not anything to write home about. I think that it's a little too likely that we just regret um, taking this because we just take a full heart anyway, and then maybe we miss on our next shop. So let's take Morgan Le Fay. I think it does something. And then no targeted spell. So Navi, really big stats compared to this. I don't think we care that much about this, but maybe we do. So let's say we cast like, if we proc it like 6 times, that's a total of +6 health over time. Eh. We could also Twinkle Twinkle, like it's not the end of the world. If it fell here, that would be terrible. Here, either one of these would at least help us for this next fight. I kind of just want to take Navi, to be honest. I think we can stabilize and just lose 1 heart this turn. The Fate's in the front, or yeah. Mhm. And this is the thing that starts to happen, right? Is that like your mid game could be really good. Like if we hit Rage Mage and then like Presence of Gaia, we're golden, we're fine. But we're not doing that. So now we have this position where like none of this is purchasable because this isn't actually good for us, right? We're not. Mm, it's fine. It's almost certainly going to be the pick actually, but it's not great. Okay, this has to be Rage Mage. It's such a crucial card for this archetype. Um, this is going to attack as if it attacks first, it becomes a 7/2. That doesn't seem better than this, right? We're so far from trying to make Plunder Penny work at this point, so the only question is, do we give up on this? And I think we can afford it for a little bit. Um, hmm, that's vile. Okay. I think it's incredibly likely that we can proc Tin Man, but I'm greedy. Rage Mage or Morgan Le Fay for this? I want to say it's Rage Mage, but down here. That makes a lot of sense to me. We just care so much more about goldening this, and then, but we do want the stats here. Oh, I love, that's really nice. Okay. All right. This was a nice turn. We got a lot out of this turn. Carving Fork I don't care about because we're not trying to chain a bunch of, you know, regular shop characters together to get strong. Bounty Contract is too slow. We're not gonna pick up a Scar. I don't think we care about any of the things that work with this. Womp womp. Should we just take this? So the advantage of Bounty Contract is that we are quite likely actually to keep um, a lot of our units on board, but like I don't believe in it at the end of the day. I'm gonna take a Relic of Antiquity even though I'm generally not in love with this. Uh, so here I want to put my 11/11 further back, I think, so that it can survive. Like maybe these can kill some strong things, then this can help the Morgan clean up. Go right? No. Oh, I just didn't look at the numbers. All hands on deck is so much better because we picked up this Nightshade, and that's part of why this thing's important, right? Double Grotto on this like Morgan Le Fay makes it pretty gigantic. I do like picking up a second Navi though. Okay, so this is +12 plus. This is too much to miss. It is a bummer. Okay, do we want to put our stats somewhere, our slot boosts somewhere else, right? Like if we put them up here, I think we do. There's enough things that might have us want to slay. All right, looks okay. And then obviously this is the turn where we're trying, like sorry, not the turn, the tier that we're most equipped to become strong from. So we have to decide what we're going to invest in and what we're going to like use to get us there. And Helica would be really, really strong and we could make it powerful. But let's think about it, right? Like if we take an Helica and we pour some stats into it, can we keep it in position 1, slaying? And are we going to find enough minions? I think so. Because I mean, obviously we don't know that we're going to hit this and it's a pretty big opportunity cost. Um, but I think we need to be doing something strong here because we're not going to get there by just giant growthing this Morgan Le Fay over and over again. Um, Gosh, I hope we get this to work. But even if we don't, I think we can live with it. Uh, and part of it is that like getting these stats going on Angelica kind of means that we don't have to scale quite so hard once we pick up a good unit. Nice. That's really nice for us. Okay. Huge. The other thing is that like this, we're very happy to, I mean, Robin would be the pick here, I guess, because it's ranged, but we're not like in a hurry to pick it up. Ironcast Dragon is interesting. Obviously, works pretty well. We'd pick up a bunch of random treasures. Um, the other thing is it's very appealing just to keep stacking stats here. Uh, I think it's a mistake to not take this. Well, is it? Because we don't actually want to like Grodo onto it, right? Like we would love to play a blessing, like slot enhancers on it. We're about to hit epic. I think it's I think it's good enough. 17-8 versus a 19-4. I think that is different. And then just presenting our bigger stats up front, I think 17-8. Yeah. I don't know if we're just like wildly over preparing for these fights, but if so, I think it will be okay that that is how we have done this. Um, so dragons. Are there other dragons that I care about? I'm almost certainly casting this anyway, because I'm not really interested in these, and you know, it adds up, it really does. Uh, it's not this. Pirate villain, no. Mage villain. Are there other villains that we like? I think we mostly care about the mage thing. I'm gonna do this. And then am I gonna just keep slamming them here? It's a little awkward because Wicked Witch does want to end up there. But Wicked Witch doesn't hate having stats or anything like that. This is kind of why I was hesitant to pick up this Ironcast Dragon, right? Like, I don't really want to cast it here. Like, I could... There's so many common treasures that do nothing, but it seems like wrong to do it elsewhere. I think I'm gonna... 2 common treasures is fine. We should do this. It doesn't look to me like we're hitting... Wicked Witch I think is gonna stay here for quite a while, to be honest. So where should I put my stats then? My slot buffs? Um, Maybe down here for Shadowmancer? No. But it's like we don't really want, unless if we already had a goodie bag, that would be fine, but we don't. I'm gonna do it down here. It's the best thing for now, and it has some play for later. Yeah, like what did that accomplish for us? If we hit some nice mages off this, then great, but if not, Alright, hopefully it doesn't kill the Angelica, but if it does, hmm I really like Rudolph the Red, as I've mentioned. It's like, now we poured all those stats into this Ironcast Dragon, right? And we don't really want it, because this is still better, but sure. Um, so part of Rudolph the Red is that, like, You know, this is already a much better shop than a shop with things in it, but we really do want to make it gold. So let's work on that. We are shipshape if that matters, right? But like, we certainly can get rid of a couple things. Honestly, Rage Mage's time to shine is over as well. I think I might be overthinking this a little bit. I'm gonna just put some slot buffs here, and I'm gonna go ahead and Silvery Moon this, even though it's not as much value. But if we get this going, that will be one of the ways that we can actually win the game. And right now we're kind of stalling out. We haven't hit any of our like good epics. Uh, okay. And this is where we really regret like not just slamming everything into the same thing, right? Because double double is so good. Do we Midas touch here? It doesn't seem crazy to me. So double double would give plus, so this would become a 2032. I mean, that's way too many stats to not do, right? Like we kind of have to. All right. It's not like it's so terrible for this thing to have stats either. Oh, love that. Thank you. Um, so we have a ton of villains already. Poison Apple's pretty interesting because of that. It doesn't necessarily synergize the best with this mage strat. Advent Calendar is going to take, what, 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's anything common or uncommon that I care about, so in 3 turns, it'll get me a rare that might matter. That doesn't seem worth it. Certainly not Earthstone. Let's take Poison Apple in case, because it will help against like true nonsense, but I think that was like a mediocre pickup. Maybe I'm off the mark. Poison Apple's so strong, but we'll see. I don't know what our opponents are doing, by the way. Like, these boards have been really weak, and I can't really understand why. Uh, I mean, at some point we pick up Lucky Chests and stuff like that, right? So Friar Tuck is great. Crystal also great, but doesn't work well with Lucky Chest. Is that... I think given that we have this, like, other strong option, I think we should go for it. I think a Flyer is still more important. Is that true? Or I always think I get Flyer and ranged a little bit mixed up. We have 2 health. I think we can afford to Friar Tuck here. We can't proc it this turn, so Lightning Bolt won't ever matter. We'll just pick up the highest rarity thing. This is, again, a little bit odd that we have so many stats on this Wicked Witch, but it's also not too terrible to do so. It means it survives a hit and it is ranged. It kills this. Like, maybe that's good. Double True Love's Kiss. Anywhere? Not really. Double Greed, double... If this could just hit mages, I would absolutely do it. I think it's probably worth it on one of these animal mages. Maybe here? This thing's big enough. We don't need to keep like doing 2/2s on this slot. I think Rudolph the Red is stronger, right? We are more likely to keep this. Because a bonus shop of spells is better than a bonus shop. Because we would take Goldilocks. Oi. It's a big support. Doesn't do anything. Right? I don't think it does anything. I just don't think any of these matter, and Nessie at least does something with Lucky Chest. How big is this now? Not big enough. I could Silvery Moon onto Friar Tuck. Certainly not inconceivable that that's good. Calypso will add up surprisingly quickly, I believe. I wonder if it's worth it. What? No, I don't believe so. But I could see that being incorrect easily. Captain Hook down here. So Captain Hook can go here or here. The advantage of putting it here is that if Wicked Witch, weakens some things, then it comes in, slays a gigantic frontline thing. Can be very strong. The same thing can happen down here. Um, Bahamut, I don't think we need that. We could also just keep this Morgan Le Fay, but this like 30-25 is, these stats are not looking impressive for much longer. I think we'll do it like this, and then if I remember, this opponent was quite weak, but it's not like we're doing so amazing either, but I guess it's good enough. Yep, that'll be a win. Okay, weird run. But we got there, talked through our decisions. As you can see, like we did end up using legendaries, but I don't know. I don't think this was a particularly exemplary run, but we made decisions and we got first place, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, let's see where we are now, actually, really quick. 15th, nice. All right, bye.